The Roman Empire. Few names echo through history with such power and grandeur. Born from a small Italian settlement, this civilization dominated the Mediterranean world for centuries. Join us as we delve into the fascinating world of the Roman Empire, a civilization that left an indelible mark on the course of human history. Our journey begins in the 8th century BC amidst the verdant hills of central Italy. Legend tells the story of two twin brothers, Romulus and Remus, abandoned to die but saved by a she-wolf. They would go on to found a city on the banks of the Tiber River, a city destined for greatness. However, Roman society rebelled against the rule of their last king, the arrogant Tarquin the Proud. His expulsion in 509 BC marked a turning point in Roman history, leading to the establishment of the Roman Republic. Our story begins with a legend, passed down through generations of Romans. It tells the tale of two twin brothers, Romulus and Remus, descendants of the Trojan hero Aeneas. Abandoned as infants, they were miraculously saved and suckled by a she-wolf. Upon reaching manhood, Romulus and Remus decided to found a city on the very spot where they had been saved. In a fit of rage, Romulus slew Remus, claiming dominion over the settlement that would bear his name, Rome. After the legendary founding of Rome in 753 BC, the city was ruled by a succession of 7 kings. These early rulers played a crucial role in laying the foundations of Roman society, shaping its institutions and expanding its territory. The kings established a social hierarchy with themselves at the top, followed by a class of nobles called patricians. Below them were the plebeians, the ordinary citizens who made up the majority of the population. However, the reigns of the kings were not without their share of unrest and discontent. The reign of the last king, Tarquin the Proud, marked a turning point in Roman history. His rule was characterized by tyranny and brutality, alienating the Roman people, including the powerful patrician class. Led by the patricians, the Romans rose up and expelled Tarquin the Proud in 509 BC. This momentous event marked the end of the Roman monarchy and the birth of the Roman Republic. The Romans, determined to prevent the return of tyranny, vowed to create a government where power would be shared and no single individual could hold absolute authority. At the heart of the Roman Republic was a complex and carefully balanced system of governance. Instead of a king, the Romans established a system of magistrates, elected annually to administer the state. The two most powerful officials were the consuls, who served as heads of state and commanders-in-chief of the army. The Senate, originally an advisory body to the king, assumed a central role in the Republic. Composed of elder statesmen from prominent families, the Senate controlled state finances, foreign policy, and religious affairs. The power struggle between the patricians and the plebeians, the ordinary citizens of Rome, would become a defining feature of the Republic's history. The early centuries of the Roman Republic were marked by a series of conflicts that tested the mettle of its citizens and laid the foundations for its future dominance. The Roman army, organized into disciplined legions, proved to be a formidable fighting force. Roman soldiers were renowned for their courage, discipline, and skill, both in pitched battles and sieges. Through a combination of military victories and shrewd diplomacy, Rome gradually subdued its rivals and established its hegemony over the Italian peninsula. This pragmatic approach to conquest helped consolidate Roman power and foster a sense of unity among the diverse peoples under Roman rule. By the 3rd century BC, Rome's growing power brought it into conflict with Carthage, a powerful commercial empire based in North Africa. The Punic Wars, a series of 3 epic conflicts between Rome and Carthage, would determine the fate of the Western Mediterranean world. The First Punic War, from 264 to 241 BC, began as a struggle for control of the strategic island of Sicily. The Second Punic War, from 218 to 201 BC, saw the emergence of one of history's most brilliant military commanders, the Carthaginian general Hannibal. Hannibal's audacious crossing of the Alps with elephants stunned the Roman world. The last century of the Roman Republic was a period of profound upheaval and transformation. Small farmers, forced to serve long years in the army, returned home to find their farms in ruins. They drifted to the cities, swelling the ranks of the unemployed and discontented. Meanwhile, the spoils of victory brought immense wealth and power into the hands of a few elite families. Generals returned from war as heroes, wielding unprecedented influence. The stage was set for a new chapter in Roman history, marked by the rise of one man and the transformation of the Republic into an empire. Out of the chaos and bloodshed of the late Republic emerged a new figure who would reshape the Roman world. Octavian, the great-nephew and adopted heir of Julius Caesar. Caesar's assassination in 44 BC had plunged the Republic into a fresh round of civil wars. Octavian, a shrewd and ambitious young man, skillfully navigated the treacherous political landscape. In 27 BC, after decades of conflict, Octavian emerged as the undisputed master of Rome. In a carefully orchestrated ceremony, the Senate bestowed upon him the title of Augustus, marking the beginning of the Roman Empire. Augustus established a new political order, in which real power rested in his hands, ushering in an era of peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana. The reign of Augustus marked the beginning of a remarkable period in Roman history, often referred to as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. This era was characterized by a succession of competent and enlightened emperors, often called the Five Good Emperors: Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, and Marcus Aurelius. These emperors, though diverse in their personalities and policies, shared a common commitment to good governance, justice, and the welfare of their subjects. They maintained peace within the empire's borders, putting down rebellions and deterring external threats. This era of stability allowed Roman civilization to flourish. The Pax Romana witnessed a golden age of Roman art, literature, and architecture. The emperors, particularly Augustus and Hadrian, were patrons of the arts, commissioning magnificent buildings, monuments, and sculptures that still inspire awe today. Roman literature also flourished during this period, with writers such as Virgil, Horace, Ovid, and Livy producing works of poetry, history, and philosophy that would shape Western literature for centuries to come. The Pax Romana was a time of relative peace and prosperity, but it was not without its challenges. The empire faced occasional threats from external enemies, such as the Germanic tribes along the Rhine and Danube frontiers. The Pax Romana, for all its glory, could not last forever. By the 3rd century AD, the Roman Empire faced a confluence of crises that threatened to unravel the fabric of its society. One of the most pressing challenges was the growing instability of the imperial office itself. Military coups and assassinations became commonplace as ambitious generals vied for power, often plunging the empire into brief but bloody civil wars. Corruption was rampant, eroding public trust in the imperial administration. As internal strife weakened the empire, external threats intensified. Along the northern frontiers, Germanic tribes launched increasingly bold raids into Roman territory. In the east, the Persian Empire renewed its attacks on the Roman provinces of the Middle East. Faced with these daunting challenges, Emperor Diocletian, who came to power in 284 AD, took a momentous decision to divide the Roman Empire into two administrative halves. The Western Roman Empire, beset by economic woes, political instability, and relentless barbarian invasions, would eventually collapse in the 5th century AD, while the Eastern Roman Empire, centered on Constantinople, would survive for another 1,000 years as the Byzantine Empire. Despite Diocletian's reforms and the efforts of subsequent emperors, the Western Roman Empire continued its slow and painful decline. The division of the empire had merely papered over the deeper problems that plagued the West: a shrinking tax base, rampant inflation, and a succession of weak and ineffective emperors. The year 376 AD marked a turning point. A massive force of Goths, fleeing the westward advance of the Huns, crossed the Danube River seeking refuge within Roman territory. The Romans, weakened by internal divisions and a lack of resources, agreed to let the Goths settle within the empire's borders, hoping to integrate them into Roman society as farmers and soldiers. However, relations between the Romans and Goths quickly soured. Corrupt and exploitative Roman officials mistreated the Goths, driving them to rebellion. In 378 AD, at the Battle of Adrianople, the Goths, led by their chieftain Fritigern, inflicted a crushing defeat on a Roman army commanded by the Eastern Roman Emperor Valens, who was killed in the battle. The Battle of Adrianople was a watershed moment in Roman history. It exposed the vulnerability of the Roman army, once thought invincible, and shattered the aura of Roman invincibility. The Goths, emboldened by their victory, rampaged through the Balkans, plundering Roman towns and villages. Although the Romans managed to contain the Gothic threat for a time, the empire would never be the same again. The Roman Empire, like all civilizations, rose to great heights only to fade into the annals of history. Its fall was not a single catastrophic event, but rather a slow and complex process, spanning centuries and shaped by a multitude of factors. Yet, even in its demise, the Roman Empire left an indelible mark on the course of Western civilization. From its humble beginnings as a small city-state in central Italy, Rome grew to encompass a vast and diverse empire, stretching from the British Isles to the Euphrates River. This remarkable expansion was fueled by military might, political acumen, and a pragmatic approach to conquest that often integrated conquered peoples into the fabric of Roman society. The Romans excelled not only as conquerors but also as builders, administrators and lawmakers. Their roads, aqueducts and public buildings stand as testaments to their engineering prowess. Roman law, with its emphasis on justice and the rule of law, provided a framework for legal systems for centuries. And in the realms of art, literature and philosophy, the Romans drew inspiration from the Greeks, adapting and developing their own distinct styles. The works of Virgil, Horace, Ovid and Cicero continue to resonate with readers today, reminding us of the enduring power of human thought and creativity. The Roman Empire may be long gone, but its legacy lives on in our languages, our laws, our institutions, and our cultural values. It serves as a reminder of the heights that human civilization can achieve and the challenges that all empires, no matter how mighty, must one day face.